have officially made it to the end of the Patriots MayeFlower Voyage as we end the trip to Santa Clara, California in San Francisco. We got so much to discuss, but before we break down this game, we got a lot of ranting to do. I know everybody from Pats Nation want to rant it out. You can do so in the chat. Just make sure that we're respectful. But I know my colleagues, we're going to let it all out. We're going to just spit some F-bombs, SH bombs. You know it. We all know it. Just let it all out. I don't care. I don't care if we get demonetized. Just let it all out because there was so much frustration. There is so much in disbelief. There's so much stupidity beyond belief. I think that society is going to hell. But let's break it all down. I am your host, Dow, a.k.a. DTN, a.k.a. the captain of the ship. And I got Andy and Austin with me. Unfortunately, Thomas is currently having technical issues, but he should be in the stream once his laptop is working. But gentlemen, starting with you, Andy, how are you feeling about last night? And how is this going to motivate the Patriots heading into Sunday?
Well, okay, two things, actually three things. Vrabel got MVP. And in a way, I was hoping that Vrabel would get the snub and Maye would get the MVP. And that way, that Vrabel would be the more motivated guy. Because I read an article yesterday, I think I put it up in the chat, that said he had a chip on his shoulder from back to the 97 draft about being called by the Lions, and there was actually an inquiry on them as to who to draft, and they were asking Vrabel, and he was like, unless you're going to draft me, don't fucking call me. So, in a way, I'd hope, Vrabel had gotten the snub, but he didn't. It was Maye, but it was only by one vote. One measly little vote separating Matt Stafford and Drake Maye. And even Matt Stafford, basically he gave credit to Puka. He's like, I know I've got this stud team around me and yada, yada, yada. And nobody's thought that about Maye all year. In fact, it was believed we had one of possibly the worst wide receiver core in the league headed into this season. And here we are playing for a 7th Lombardi trophy in 2 days. But yeah, I was happy for Vrabel. The Maye thing ticked me off. Henderson, I didn't see the breakdown for O'Roy. Was it O'Roy?
It was O'Roy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't even the number one back, and Henderson had more touchdowns than
Genty or Judkins.
Who won it? I forget. Wait.
It was Ted.
Oh, it was Ted. Oh, wow. JSN, no, shoot. I'm sorry.
JSN won Offensive Player of the Year.
Correct. Thank you. Yeah, and Stephon Diggs. It was more actually a snub of Stephon Diggs than Trevion Henderson, because you've got this 1,000-yard receiver whom everybody's saying was washed. He got unceremoniously dumped by the Bills, and the Texans ultimately decided not to bring him back. Vrabel took a flyer on him, and he's our first 1,000-yard receiver since Edelman in 2019. So, yeah, Vrabel deserved Coach of the Year. Adam Vinatieri finally in the Hall of Fame. How are we thinking about that? On the other hand, still no Belichick, still no Kraft. There's talk about what'll happen with Brady. But yeah, I mean,
to go off with your Hall of Fame, here are the candidates for 2027. Belichick and Mr. Kraft will be part of this list. But if I can list off some of the Patriot legends that are going to be in this list, one of them being Gronk, the other one being Boom Tower, as in Dante Hightower, and the other one being, I'm not going to say his name. Well, two names. Cat in the Hat, and then Antonio Brown.
Cat in the Hat.
Cam Newton.
Oh, that's right. Ugh, I thought you meant Cam Newton. Yeah, I probably I go Gronk out of that list. Vince Wilfork. How about Vince Wilfork?
I don't think he's on the list. No, I think he was a first time eligible. I think he's going to be in for the second time eligible. I think he was first time eligible.
Okay. So first ballot, it's going to be first ballot former Pats. It's going to be Newton, Brown, Gronk, and who else?
Dante Hightower.
And Hightower. Interesting.
How about you, Austin?
I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed. I thought May was gonna actually win this one. To me, it feels a lot of like all these analysts or writers or whoever gets all these votes, right? It's like Matthew Stafford's been in the league 17 years. This is the first time he's ever been like truly in the running for this award. And all these people just seem to be like, Stafford's a great guy. May will have plenty more opportunities to win this. Basically, there's no actual factual evidence outside of Stafford threw more passing touchdowns than Drake May, which, yes, anybody with a brain can see that on the statistics. But I don't know. You break it down, and Drake May's top 1 to 3 in nearly every quarterback category you can think of. And it's just every year they are changing what they think the MVP award truly is. And it's crazy because Dan Orlovsky, who we constantly like last year for advocated for Josh Allen to win the MVP, was saying, oh, he carried this team. Without Josh Allen, the Bills are nothing. They're worthless, blah, blah, blah. He didn't care that Lamar Jackson had incredible stats. Blew Josh Allen out of the water. Now this year he wants to turn and flip the script and be like, Stafford's my guy. I'll never turn my back on my friend. He gets my vote. Oh, hold on now. You're supposed to take friendship and all this other shit out of it. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Andrew Whitworth, Tom Brady, like, I don't know if they get votes, but constantly just all I heard is like, great guy. He needs this, blah, blah, blah. It's going to help him get in the hall. Drake May will have more opportunities. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because clearly Stafford just declared that he's coming back next year. So we're right to assume Stafford has another attempt at an MVP, right? So that whole fucking argument goes in the trash bin. It's really a disgrace. And then the fact that like NFL honors, I'm very happy Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year. I'm very happy Josh McDaniels won Assistant of the Year. But again, I don't know how you don't give it to Drake. I was a little surprised that Trevion didn't win Rookie of the Year, and that's on offense at least. And that's just because he had probably way less stats than everybody else listed up there, or snaps, I mean. And he had the most all-purpose yards, the most touchdowns out of all those guys there. So it just really doesn't make sense. I don't know. There's this underlying Patriots hate that teams have. I don't know. I'm just really disappointed. And then the fact Kraft and Bill Belichick haven't gotten in, it's just a whole crapshoot. Quite frankly, I'm annoyed. I'm pissed off. And I hope the Patriots go out here Super Bowl Sunday and just fucking beat the brakes off the Seahawks so we can put this whole season to rest.
Yeah, I agree. Before I ask Thomas this question, I want to ask him a important question. Did you check the chat, Thomas, that I'm just making sure if your computer is working fine? And then I don't know. I'm on my black PC. I think my black. Okay, I'll let you settle this, and we'll just continue with the show. And if you really need to, we'll take care of it. So, okay, so I think Thomas is having a bit of technical issues, but let's just continue. Oh my gosh, King Jamie in the show, and do you know what he said? Sherbert. Oh, for goodness sakes, I'm so pissed about this. This is what I'm fucking pissed about. Before I get to all my rant, Please make sure if you haven't already, smash the like button, hit subscribe. Please join the Patriots Clubhouse Discord, share this with your friends, and also turn on these notifications. You won't believe how many reels I posted on YouTube just venting my frustrations on how this is a sham. The NFL committee needs to be investigated. Mainly the voting committee needs to be investigated on how they handled this voting process, because it seems like as time goes on, it's going to get worse and worse and worse as time goes on. It's like the NFL MVP has already lost its value, and some of the other awards have definitely lost its value. Like, if you were to look back in the day, like, this is what I still don't understand. You have a couple of like MVPs that technically mean nothing. Like, for example, I remember when Patrick Mahomes during his second season got MVP and Offensive Player of the Year in 2018 and still didn't make the playoffs. And make the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers did not make a Super Bowl and yet won MVP. Josh Allen, who won MVP, didn't make a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson didn't win MVP. He won MVP, did not make a Super Bowl. I just don't get what an MVP is anymore. It seems like, would you agree with me and with this, Andy? People don't know what the word value means nowadays because everybody focuses on stats instead of focusing on being the most valuable player. And I mean valuable.
Emphasis on valuable. Yeah, there is zero emphasis to put on that word. Hold on. Oh boy. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, there is zero emphasis put on that word. So you're saying, okay, what, most decorated player? I don't even know how to put it now, but Maye was clearly more valuable to his team than Stafford. And in an era where in such a quarterback-driven league, more than any other sport you have in football, you have the game driven by the quarterback. It's obviously not all the quarterback, but it's in large part the quarterback. And Maye elevated the guy, he made chicken salad out of chicken shit, made lemonade out of lemons, however you want to put it. And he was in part able to do that with Mike Vrabel. So at the same time, I was like, oh, geez. I think Vrabel has been the most instrumental part of this Pats turnaround, and oh, shit. Maye's not going to get the MVP, even though he was, in quite the technical and literal sense, the most valuable player. You look at his, he was number one in most, like Austin said, in almost every crucial quarterback stat. Apparently washed up Stephon Diggs, found him for 1,000+ yards. Stafford has Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, not to mention Kyron Williams. It's just like those names are just like so far above anybody on the Pats. It's like, okay, you gotta why do you not just swallow your pride? And he lost by one freaking vote. Like, how do you not just swallow your pride?
A second place vote at that. Because the first place vote is worth 10 points. A second place is worth 5. So he lost by just somebody needed to give him like a second place ranking.
Jeez. Wait a second. Wait, you can vote by place?
That's how they vote. So they say like the 5 options, and it's like if you vote Stafford at 1, like whoever gets a number 1 gets 10 points. If they think they should finish second in the voting, they get 5, and then it's like 3, so on and so forth.
Okay. Oh, so that's how the whole points thing works. I got confused by that too.
No, I didn't understand the point system either. But then again, it made zero sense. Like I looked at all the finalists. Those are the ones who kind of make sense to me. Obviously, Matthew Stafford and Drake Maye. Josh Allen, okay. Christian McCaffrey, I think he was definitely comeback player of the year, considering that he came off an ACL. But everybody knows Christian McCaffrey's that good. But one other player pissed me off. Trevor fucking Lawrence. How the hell is he a finalist for that stupid NFL MVP? How is he a finalist for that stupid what is it, the NFL award? And DPF explained it perfectly. Where I can find it. The MVP is just a sympathy award now.
It is. That's exactly what it is. I say it's like the Oscars, but it's really, he's right. It's real sympathy award. Yeah, sympathy award. Perfect way to put it. Really.
Okay, now Thomas is back. Hopefully that his internet is working. But I want to ask you, Thomas, what were your thoughts on last night regarding the NFL honors?
Honestly, the NFL honors, honestly, the MVP makes a lot of sense with Stafford. I think that people are going at Stafford. He doesn't deserve it. No, it's between Stafford and frickin' May. I know this for sure. But what I don't get is who is that one asshole who put a first place vote on one quarterback out of Justin Herbert? Which asshole done that? I'm sorry. Trevor. You cannot say mean stuff about Trevor Lawrence. He did an okay season for a guy who has have a little bit of nothing. Christian McCaffrey, yes, he had a good season too. Josh Allen, he has an up and down season, but he has a good season as well here. But come again here. But you cannot take anything away from Matthew Stafford. I'm sorry, he deserved that MVP. It's between him and May.
The problem with Stafford and MVP is that Drake May had peanut butter and jelly, not peanut butter, basically had shit and piss. Whereas Matthew Stafford had fish and chips. Who would rather win MVP? Somebody with piss and shit or with fish and chips?
What are you going? I'm sorry. What are you going at here?
So basically,
are you saying?
No, here's the thing.
Are you saying that
Drake May had nothing? Matthew Stafford had 2 All-Pros. That's what I was trying to get at. Would you rather have an MVP with 2 All-Pro players who I think they deserve to be the MVP because they helped Matthew Stafford regardless? And Drake May had basically nothing. Rather, with an aging Stephon Diggs, an aging Matt Hollins, a wide receiver who was potentially going to be your first rounder, then became a 6th rounder, or a 5'8" Pop Douglas and a 5'8" Pop Douglas. That's what I was trying to get.
Okay, then, but I want Drake May to win MVP as well as more than you guys do. But it's a close MVP race. What are you supposed to do? Stafford obviously got the stats. Drake May, I'm sorry, Drake May. I want Drake May to win MVP more than you guys do. But Drake May, I get he has less weapons he has here, but it's New England has a cupcake schedule. That is, unfortunately, the Rams do not. They have a tougher schedule than what the Patriots have.
Yeah, I get the point that Matthew Stafford had a more difficult division than the Patriots, but
yeah, the NFC West. Yeah, the NFC West is the toughest division in football. The AFC East, it's literally just the Patriots and the Bills. It's literally the Jets and the Jets and the Dolphins are just non-existent.
I can't blame you on that. But this is where I get a little frustrated. Hold on, let me disconnect this. Read this for yourself, if you can read this. From Get Up. Do you see anything, Andy, that makes you think that Drake May should have won this over Matthew Stafford? Read this. Common opponents that both Drake May and Matthew Stafford played against. It includes record. It includes first down differentiations and first down differentiations and QBR differentiations. Going up against these opponents, Panthers, Saints, Titans, Falcons, Buccaneers, and Ravens. The Rams lost to the Falcons and the Panthers, the two teams we put belt to ass on them.
Who's the other team that they lost to?
Are you talking about the Rams or
who's the other team they lost to? Rams.
So for the Rams, it was the Panthers and the Falcons.
But we almost lost to the Falcons. What are you talking about? It was a close game here. The only team we put the BTA on is the Panthers, who is a playoff team this year at this point. So I don't know what you guys are going at here. Like
the Falcons game is where Matthew Stafford threw 2 pick sixes. He had 2 interceptions and one of them being a pick 6. That's what I was trying to get at. Like Matthew Stafford threw 2 pick 6s. Drake May threw only 1. But get to your point, Andy.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, common opponents. Yeah, like Thomas said, we only beat the Falcons by 1 point. I don't remember what the score of the Rams-Bucks game was.
Rams-Bucks was 35-7. If you're talking about Rams versus Falcons, it was 27-24 Falcons.
That's right. I do remember the Falcons won that one.
And Matthew Stafford 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I know. May was 6-0. Stafford was 4-2. What were those other stats you had, Dow, there for Drake May?
Drake May had a better QBR than Matthew Stafford, and he had more first downs than Matthew Stafford. Drake May had a QBR of 81.4 against these opponents, while Matthew Stafford had a QBR of a 57.8.
I didn't realize Stafford had that much lower. Oh, brother. But yeah, that should be double point May there. I mean, again, valuable not being brought into account there at all. I mean, Stafford legit wasn't valuable against either time they played the Panthers or against the Falcons in that
quite literally
season finale.
No, quite literally, outside of touchdowns and outside of yards, which, by the way, May was only short Stafford 300 yards and did it with 100 less pass attempts. Drake May is better in every single stat other than touchdowns and yards.
100%.
So I don't know how Andy turns around his team from going consecutive 4-13 seasons to a 14-3 regular season record. I don't know how you can look at that. And then there's also, if you put Stafford behind our O-line, he is dead. May has been sacked over 50 times this season. And we're still winning. Stafford was sacked less than 22 times or something like that. Not to mention, if you put Drake May on the Rams, they probably go undefeated. You put Stafford 100%, on the Patriots, and we're looking at a 7-9 season.
You know what I still understand?
I also feel like if you put Jimmy fucking Garoppolo in for Matt Stafford, they're still a playoff team.
Those receivers, they have Nakua and they have Devontae Adams. Do people not realize? Oh, sugar piece.
Guess who Matthew Stafford had last year besides Puka Nakua? The player who is now on the Seahawks, Cooper Kupp.
Right.
He also had Tyler Higbee before he had injuries. And you also had Colby Parkinson. Now they have a new tight end in Terrence Ferguson. Also, this was the same Rams team that went 10-7 last year and 10-7 the year prior, and they still
made the same Rams team that nearly beat the Eagles last year in the championship game. And you're talking about the Pats.
I predicted the Rams to win that division this year, and they failed to win the division.
Exactly. The Pats did not. They took it from the Bills after 5 years, 6 years, really.
Okay.
And
wait. I'm sorry. Are you guys saying that Stafford does not deserve MVP?
Yes. Stafford does not deserve it. I'm sorry.
He didn't win games for when he was with the Detroit Lions. The only awards I saw from Matthew Stafford during his time with Detroit was Comeback Player of the Year, two-time Pro Bowl, and Offensive Rookie of the Year. He had Megatron, he had Golden Tate, he had who else? Marvin Jones Jr., for what I remember, and for a brief moment he had TJ Hawkinson. And he could win it, but I get it. The
Kenny Galladay, like he had tons of fucking weapons. It's just
exactly. Drake May had zero.
I'm sorry. I disagree with all three of you here. I'm sorry. As much as ridiculous the result is, I'm sorry. The result is the result. Matt Stafford is MVP. Drake May's the runner-up. I'm sorry. People say getting MVP might be the bigger thing than anything else. I'm sorry. It's not. It's fucking not.
I'm
sorry.
Let me pull
I just want to get this MVP talk out of the way. I just want to talk Super Bowl.
It's just I can't move on because this has been the biggest topic within last night. Do you know how many Pats fans were so frustrated about it? Like I here's the thing. I have no disrespect for Matthew Stafford. I don't disrespect for Drake May. But what pisses me off is why the fuck is Justin Herbert in the votes? And same with Josh Allen.
I'm sorry. Justin Herbert's the one here. I'm sorry. Who the fuck has the guts to vote for Matt Stafford? Not Matt Stafford. Fuck me. Who in the right goddamn mind to vote Justin Herbert for MVP? I'm sorry. It's blasphemous. It's absolutely blasphemous to me.
You know what's even more blasphemous?
It's just goddamn blasphemous.
This graphic right here is Drake May this season compared to this current season's MVP, last season's MVP, and 2023's MVP. All those stats. If you're in the green, you have the best stats among all. If you're in the red, you have the worst. But Drake May shouldn't get it, right?
I still don't understand. This is what I will give Justin Herbert's credit for, but I won't give him credit for this. Justin Herbert, I get it. He was without Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, but that doesn't, and I don't know how they made the playoffs, but Jim Harbaugh is by far the most overrated coach. It's not Justin Herbert's fault, but that's Jim Harbaugh's fault. Justin Herbert did not do well against us. Remember that Texans game back in week 17? He threw for 4 interceptions against the best defense. What did Drake May do? Threw 3 tutties against that same defense. That's what I'm trying to get at. And do you know what King Jamie said of who should have won MVP? And I'm sorry, but he said he wanted Myles Garrett to win MVP only because he broke that sack record. The problem is it's a quarterback's award at this state at this point. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
I was not surprised at Defensive Player of the Year going to Myles Garrett. That did not surprise me at all. Oh, jeez, silly me. Cut the mic previously on
Regarding this, so this guy that Tyler was mentioning, this was the guy who voted for Justin Herbert, which
Sam Munson? Sam Munson. Oh, geez. He's that Irishman who does, like, draft shit. He voted for Justin Herbert? What a moron. What a complete fruitcake.
Well, you know what I'm still pissed about, and we'll get to the game. I'm sorry, Thomas, for this frustration, but this needs to be said. Throughout the whole entire season, we have been underestimated for so many seasons. Some moron said that, Patriots are going to lose the offseason. We won the offseason. Patriots are not going to win the division. We won the division. The Patriots are going to get our asses against Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert laid a massive egg when the defense mattered the most. Patriots are going to lose to the best defense. And then CJ Stroud is going to kick our asses. CJ Stroud threw for 4 interceptions. Drake May threw for 3 passing touchdowns against that same defense that only few quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, hell, even Sherbert, threw only 1 touchdown against that defense in a game. And what's even worse, we're going to lose in the AFC Championship. And saying, Stidham's going to be this guy. Stidham didn't play well when it mattered the most. And Gonzo picked him off when it mattered the most. And now
the entire ESPN slate picked the Broncos or some shit, and that was with Jarrett Stidham?
It was the Texans game.
Oh, really? I thought it was Denver.
Texans game where everybody picked the Texans.
Oh, it was the Texans. Oh, I thought it was the Broncos. Oh, silly me.
What Stafford said. What? Let me find. Oh, do you know what? Oh, this is what Tyler said that what really pissed me off. And I think Stafford doesn't deserve MVP. You know who deserves MVP? Listen to this. Stafford literally said, Puka, your name should be on this list too.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. 100%.
He should have won. In my opinion, he should have won Offensive Player of the Year over JSN. I'm sorry. Can you make a debate, Austin, that Puka should have won over JSN?
Probably not. I feel like JSN had a really good year, and I understand him getting Offensive Play of the Year. No discredit to Nakua because Nakua is amazing, but I feel like it's more impressive for JSN to step up in a year where they get rid of Tyler Lockett, they get rid of DK Metcalf. There is that question mark of can he be the number one? And quite clearly he was. Versus Puka Nakua already being in that system for a couple of years, them going out and getting an all-pro future Hall of Famer in Devontae Adams. My vote would have gone to JSN.
Yeah, my vote would have gone to JSN too here. He had an incredible season compared to Puka.
But looking back at this, as much as I want to go around Drake May, this is what Drake May did say. He doesn't care about winning individual awards because even if he gets these individual awards, he will still give credit to his to his players, to his teammates. In my opinion, do you know what he said? He wants a Super Bowl title, and a Super Bowl MVP means more than a meaningless MVP. Like, looking at this, Rodgers won MVP, did nothing in the playoffs. Josh Allen won MVP, did nothing in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson won MVP, did nothing in the playoffs.
Matt Ryan won MVP, lost when he was up 28-3.
At this point, the MVP means nothing nowadays. I just feel like the voting committee needs to be investigated.
When was the last time an MVP, an NFL MVP, actually won the Super Bowl? Didn't that happen once with Mahomes? Yeah.
2022.
22. Okay.
But that's only because Eagles fumbled the ball. But let's get to the Seahawks. I think that we had a rant for long enough already, but let's start off with the Seahawks.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Thomas, but I can't.
It had to be talked about, Thomas. You can't just it's whatever. We're moving on to the Super Bowl. Let's get it going.
Yeah, let's move on to the Super Bowl because none of these other teams made the Super Bowl. Only the Patriots and the Seahawks. Sam Darnold making the playoff and making the Super Bowl. Something I did not think about, Andy. Like the fact that no one anticipated that Sam Darnold would make the Super Bowl, and we're going up against Sam Darnold, the same guy who saw ghosts against us.
Yeah, I know. I am not. I have foregone listening to any national media this week because all they can do is talk up Sam Darnold. And no disrespect to Sam Darnold. Yes, he had a terrible start to his NFL career between the Jets and the Panthers. And, made the playoffs with the Vikings last season. Of course, laid an egg in the I can't think. The wild card round. There I go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Wow, Andy. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get off for a minute here, but yeah, I can give you my answer on this. Yeah, Sam Darnold. I mean, again, no disrespect to him, but I just think it's either Darnold or the Seahawks defense. People in the national media are talking about. Again, nobody is talking about the Pats defense. Phil Perry was saying today, oh yeah, Milton Williams could be the, underrated player, not really underrated player of the game, but kind of under the radar star of the game, if you will. I can see us really getting to Sam Darnold, and he had, I'm not going to call it the luxury, but he played against a banged up Niners defense without Fred Warner. And the Rams, I mean, yeah, the Rams defense is good, but I don't have their stats directly in front of me. But I don't think they obviously have that really stout defense up front. But I mean, with the Pats, you've got Milton Williams and Kyrie's Tonga and Christian Barmore all being coached by Mike Vrabel. You've got Robert Spillane. You've got maybe Harold Landry. You've got these defenders that, like I said, nobody's talking about. And I think that I'm not saying it's going to be a tough out for Sam Darnold. I mean, he's got JSN out there. I feel like our defense will be able to do their best to stop K9. But yeah, the number one focus should be stopping the quarterback, and that starts with JSN and the tight ends of the Seahawks. I'm sorry if I just kind of went, threw a few things out there. I just thought about it.
Okay, I'll let you go for a brief moment, Andy. We'll see you later, I guess. I don't know. Yeah,
I should be back in a few minutes.
Okay, gotcha. When we look at this, Austin, I know that a lot has been talking about the Seahawks offense has been looking great under Clint Kubiak. What makes this Seahawks offense so different compared to the other offenses that we know of? Considering that it's Clint Kubiak and it's basically this West Coast system that obviously the Kubiaks and the Shanahans inherit.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a test for our defense because as impressive as this season has been and this playoff run has been, I would say the defense hasn't been tested in certain ways. We've been very resilient. We've taken advantage of bad football, which is exactly what Mike Vrabel wanted us to do. But this is a Clint Kubiak ran offense where he runs the West Coast system pretty well. And you have, a very, very efficient receiver who doesn't have many tells when he runs his routes in JSN. You have Cooper Kupp, a previous, Triple Crown winner, 2021. It's a few years removed. He's certainly a shell of himself, but he's still a solid receiver. And then you have Rashid Shaheed, who they went out and traded for before the deadline. And while they haven't really utilized him that much in the past game, he can definitely help to stretch the field. He doesn't need a lot of opportunities. I compare him a lot to us having Kyle Williams, where he may not get the ball a lot, but when he does, it's maybe a 50-yard catch, or, he's contributing on those punt returns, those kick returns. So the offense, they're definitely a more, I would say, run-heavy West Coast type of scheme. They definitely want to run the ball, control the game. I think they took a hit when Charbonnet went down for the season against the Niners. Kenneth Walker is an amazing back, but Kenneth Walker does have a history of injuries. But Kenneth Walker also is like top 5 in missed tackle rate percentage this year. So he's a shifty back. It'll be tough for our defense. I think our defensive line will match up well. I think our interior is going to make the interior offensive line of the Seahawks day hell. I'm just more concerned about what our edges are going to be able to do. We don't know if Harold Landry's healthy, let alone I'm in the camp of I don't even think he should play. I think Ponder is incredible, UDFA that we got. And I think Chase on the other side is going to be good. But yeah, this Seahawks offense, I mean, you look at the Patriots and then just look at the Seahawks, and it's like, this is the type of Super Bowl matchup that you want. Nobody expected it, but you literally have like the Seahawks are top 5 and everything, and the Patriots are top 5 and everything. So it's a clash of, basically the two best teams.
Yeah, the only difference is that the Seahawks' offense will be without Zach Charbonnet, who did suffer I think it was an ankle injury or a knee injury. I don't know entirely sure, but I know they're going to be without Charbonnet, who I think he is essential to when it comes to pass blocking. When we talk about this, Thomas, what are the basic key matchups that our cornerbacks and our safety should focus on when it comes to going up against JSN, Cooper Kupp, Shaheed, and also AJ Barner?
Can you repeat that again?
So what key matchups do you see when we go up against the Seahawks wide receiver, the weapons such as JSN, Cooper Kupp, AJ Barner, and Rashid Shaheed?
What key matchups?
Yeah.
I don't know, any quarterback against JSN, because I'm sorry, Cooper, JSN is the freaking Swiss Army knife of this offense. He's the offensive player of the year for a damn reason. He's been the most impressive offensive weapon this season. If you're like Marcus Jones, if you're like freaking Gonzo, if you're like Hawkins, if you're any of the secondary here, do not let this guy go past you. No blown coverage. I don't know who we're going to match up with JSN. I would say that either Marcus or freaking Gonzo if it's necessary, because you need some speedy backs to go against somebody like JSN. He is a ridiculous receiver to go pass for him. And when it comes to Cooper Kupp, Cooper Kupp is how old is Cooper Kupp again?
He's in his 30s. I think he's 30. Something. 31 or 30.
He's still a good receiver on his age. He's another weapon that we need to watch out for here. If you put Carlton Davis in there, or I have no idea, put him in there against Cooper Kupp or someone else, or Jones, if you want to do something like this, it's going to be a tough it's going to be a tough game for our corners and our safeties against the receivers on a Cooper Cup and freaking JSN. It's going to be this ridiculously tough. This is the reason. This is another team that this is another one of these teams that the Patriots the defense need to be tested here. They have not been tested against a very good team. This is a very good team. See, and I don't. And people are like, "Oh, the Seahawks are not even that good." Oh, they put like that. Shut up. Like, honestly, shut up. The Seahawks are a good team, despite whoever is quarterback at this point. If it's Sam Darnold, if it's someone else here, the Seahawks are still goddamn good. Regardless, the defense are going to be battle tested at this Super Bowl. Like, it's not going to be an easy Super Bowl like the previous Super Bowl that we had, which is with the Seahawks, or yada yada yada. This is a battle-tested Super Bowl against 2 top 5 teams in the damn National Football League. This is what it's supposed to be. So if you're talking matchups here for our corners and our receivers, they need to match up with JSN and they need to match up with Cooper Cup.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to this, I think that this is going to be a huge test for the defense, less so much of the offense, because we already know that Drake May is going up against another top 10 defense, but this is going to be
top
a
5.
perfect
Top
5. Thank you. I say this is going to be a huge test for the defense. So I want to ask you this, Andy. How much pressure should our defensive line get to Sam Darnold, considering that they are since the Seahawks offensive line is 21st in pass blocking while 14th in run blocking?
Yeah, oh, jeez, I'm sorry. So, sorry, do I rephrase that?
So how do I rephrase it to make it easier? Because Seahawks, they have Charlie Cross, who was a former first rounder in 2022. Then they also have Gray Zabel, who is the left guard for the offensive line. I love Gray Zabel to death. How does the Patriots defensive line get pressure again towards Sam Darnold going up against this offensive line that is 21st in pass blocking and in run blocking?
I've heard about this on the radio. You pretty much target, I believe it's the right side. Is it their left? Where is Zabel? Is he on the right or the left?
Left.
Yeah. So I thought it was the right side that's vulnerable. I forget the guy's name, but
I think it's Bradford.
What?
His name is Bradford. I don't know his first name.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it is Bradford. That rings a bell. And he's been kind of a sieve all season long. So I think that's your answer to a form of pass rush, if you will, is targeting the right side of the offensive line. Because, I mean, with the Broncos, I mean, yeah, they had Jarrett Stidham, but that was still, I believe, they had a top 5 O-line. The Seahawks do not. I mean, yes, like you, Dal, I love Gray Zabel, but he's probably their best offensive lineman. And I mean, if you bully the right side of their line, I think you can probably get to Sam Darnold fairly easily. Well, depending on where Darnold is, you're going to have to obviously see off the right side of the offensive line and then have the pass rusher go in and stop, which, could mean a big game for Chason or maybe Spillane if he plays on the right side.
What I do know with this is a different Seahawks offense as far as we all know, because we're not going up against DK Metcalf, we're not going up against Tyler Lockett. This is a completely different offensive line. They got a different offensive coordinator. They now have Clint, the son of Gary Kubiak, Clint Kubiak, who, by the way, he's going to get a head coaching job with the Raiders. Good luck to him. He's not going to survive there. I'm sorry, with by far one of the worst rosters. But Austin, knowing the Seahawks offense, I know that Seahawks thrives through a lot of play action, and they use a lot of. I know that Darnold has the capability of escaping from the pocket. What should our defense do to prevent Darnold from getting to his receivers, who, by the way, have the best drop rate, the lowest drop rate, out of any wide receiver core, while the Patriots have the second lowest drop rate?
Yeah, I think, and it goes throughout the entire league. The number one blueprint kind of limiting that is just you have to bother the quarterback in some way, shape, or form. We're going to have to, send a lot of blitzes. We're going to have to disguise different coverages, make them think we're doing one thing and do the other thing. Like, the more you have him hold on to the ball and have to be like, oh shit, like, what's going on? How do I read it? Oh my God, I got to worry about Milton Williams, who just broke through. I got to roll out this. The longer the ball is in Sam Darnold's hand in this game, the better, I feel. So that would be the key to disrupting that. Just have him hold the ball longer, disguise coverages, and just get pressure to the quarterback.
You want to.
Tyler makes a good point too. Like, you have to eliminate the run. So, like, we know JSN's going to get his. I think it's going to be very similar to some of these other games we've played where, we've gone against teams that, I guess a great example is the Falcons. I know the Falcons kind of came back and made that game tight, and we kind of took our foot off the gas pedal, but we completely shut down Bijan Robinson, and we forced Michael Penix to have to beat us. Now, he kind of lit us up with Drake London, and I would attribute that to basically what maybe I'm scared of with this game is they ran a lot of like motions to get people onto different people, or they ran like rub routes. So it's like somebody does a post, somebody does a corner. And so it kind of like makes the corners have to swap off. And you kept getting a lot of Marcus Jones on Drake London. For those of you that don't know, that's a 5'8" corner versus a 6'5" receiver. That's the only thing that kind of scares me with going against somebody like JSN, where he's so fluid in his routes, he doesn't tell where he's going with his shoulders or anything. He just kind of cuts and goes, is just making sure that we have the right person on him at all times, whether that's Gonzo shadowing him the whole time, or if it's, they're going to run motions, so then it's Gonzo having to switch him off to somebody. Just everybody needs to be prepared to, like Belichick would say, do their job and just do what you're supposed to do on certain coverages. But yeah, it starts with shutting down the run. Like I said, this is a very run first team. Like, if you thought the Patriots are a run first, try to control the clock team, like the Seahawks love to do that too. So I think the key is shutting down Kenneth Walker III. And from there, that's where you get Darnold having to hold on to the ball and trying to get the pass rush going. It does scare me though, because it was something you were talking about, Andy, and it made me think of it. But the personnel that the Seahawks have, they have two really big, capable tight ends in AJ Barner, and I believe it's Arroyo, or they might have another guy. Yeah, so those two guys are big body, they can catch. But the two things I'm most worried about is how are we gonna contain end around plays, because they love to throw Rashid Shaheed in these reverses or these.
Yeah, and he's a return guy too.
Yeah, if he gets a lane, boom, he's gone. The second thing that kind of scares me, and it's something that we saw in the NFC Championship, was JSN was lining up in the backfield, and he was running routes, and he actually caught a touchdown running a route lined up as the running back. So there's going to be a lot of, we need to know the personnel that's in and where they're lining up at every given play, because these guys can kind of scheme something up to be able to get the matchups they want, and we have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, definitely we got to be prepared for them, because the last time we played against the Seahawks, I'm going to say this again, it was a completely different Seahawks roster, as far as we all know, because I still remember that week 2 game back in 2024 when we hosted the Seattle Seahawks, and we all know how it all went at the very end. which
We
I don't want to
lost.
talk. Yes, but the way we lost was completely unacceptable. But here's the thing. That was Jacoby Brissett against Geno Smith. Now we have Drake May versus Sam Darnold. So,
Which is a better quarterback matchup at this point?
I think it's going to be one of those best quarterbacks. But knowing Sam Darnold and this is what we should all know. This is a completely different Sam Darnold than the Sam Darnold that we're accustomed beating. We beat an Adam Gase version of Sam Darnold. We beat a Matt Rule version of Sam Darnold. By the way, Adam Gase is such a dumbass. It looks like he's on cocaine. I don't know why the Jets hired him. Matt Rule, I think he's one of the most overpaid coaches. I don't know why the heck they even hired him. And that's where Sam Darnold was led to die. But but the fact that when he was implemented with part of the Shanahan tree, because the 49ers and the Vikings and the Seahawks all have one thing in common. They have coaches who are part of the Shanahan McVay tree, if you know what I mean. Because obviously you have Kubiak, he had Shanahan for a brief moment when he was the backup to Brock Purdy. Kevin O'Connell was technically part of that Shanahan tree because McVay was part. Obviously, he was part of that McVay coaching staff, and McVay was a disciple to Kyle Shanahan. To Mike Shanahan. So all of that West Coast is a huge credit to the development of Sam Darnold. All a huge credit to all of these coaches. So this is going to be a different Sam Darnold than the Sam Darnold that we're accustomed to. So let's shift over to the defense. Let's shift over to the Seahawks defense and how Drake May can counter this defense. This is what I do know about the Seahawks defense. They love to use a lot of zone coverages. And I know that this is going to be by far one of the best secondaries this Seahawks has to that Drake May has to go up against. They call themselves the Dark Knight. I don't know, something completely off, which is not similar to
the dark. They call themselves the Dark Side.
Oh, the Dark Side, which is not similar to the Legion of Boom, as far as we know, because they got Witherspoon. Okay, this is where we need to discuss. The question is, what are they going to do with Nick Emmanwori, considering that he had an ankle injury during practice? So, want to ask you this, Austin, regarding on the Seahawks defense. Will it change regarding Emmanwori's availability? Because at this point, we're going to see him regardless, because he's going to play in the Super Bowl. But how is this will it affect the Seattle's defense whatsoever?
Yeah, I think you'd be crazy to be like, oh, it's not going to affect him. He's not going to lose a step. He's clearly hobbling around. It was a low ankle sprain, so there's that. I think they'll tape it up. They'll probably give him some meds or a shot or whatever they allow nowadays. And I don't know if it's like back in the day where you have to choose if you want the shot or the meds or whatever before the first half or after the first half, but you can't have both. I remember that's a thing. But yeah, Nicky Emmanwori, even though he's a rookie, he's a huge part of what they're able to do on that defense. If I remember correctly, the Seahawks run the highest nickel and dime packages, like rate play called, in the entire league. They're something like, oh God, it was like 60% out of the nickel, something crazy like that. And they're allowed to do it because Emmanwori is basically a safety, a corner, and a linebacker all in one. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. So he's built like a Robert Spillane type of thing. Not really the same body composition type of thing, but he's like just as fast as, some of these defensive backs as well. So yeah, I think him having the ankle injury, it's definitely going to affect his speed. I don't know how much. For some reason, he injures his ankle Wednesday. He's hobbling around, yet he's not on the injury report today. That seemed kind of fishy to me. I don't understand how they're supposed to report that stuff, to be real with you. So it's just, I think it'll affect it. As to how much, I don't know, but he's certainly not going to be at 100%. My guess, I don't know, 80%. So it'll help the Patriots. But yeah, I mean, Eamon Warrior is a huge part of what they do. And I mean, their defense is going to be some of the best we've seen. Now, I don't think they have edge rushers like we've seen in like the Chargers, the Texans, or the Broncos. I think their front four are very physical and strong, but they're not very fast. So I could see us kind of, not being able to get the run game going and then having to rely on Drake May's legs and scrambling and whatnot. There's another thing too. I think the Seahawks run a lot of cover 6, and that's actually Drake May's worst production pass wise.
Yeah, that's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, so I see a lot of the comments in here where it's definitely would have preferred having to play the Rams defense and just deal with their offense, and I kind of feel the same way because we're just so uncertain about the Seahawks. But again, the Seahawks, I think the one advantage the Patriots have, and maybe it's like a double advantage, is the fact that the Patriots really haven't been able to run their offense the way they wanted to from basically the start of the Texans game all the way to the Broncos game, just because of weather and, the aggressive edge defenders that those guys have. So I think that's an advantage where we weren't really able to utilize our full playbook. It was more of just we got to outlast the other team. In terms of the Seahawks, I think it's out of the past 8 weeks, they've played the same team 5 of those weeks. So they've really only gotten to play the NFC West and the Panthers. So I think they don't really know what they're going to get out of the Patriots, in my opinion. And I don't think they have been truly as tested in this playoff run, even though the scores for the Seahawks look really good. I think they haven't proven that. So that's my opinion.
Here's one thing that I did learn just now. The Seattle Seahawks defense, they also run stunts at the highest rate. And the Patriots offensive line ranked number 1 in pass blocking grade against stunts. So I hope that this is going to give us an opportunity to see how this offensive line is going up against DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Murphy II. Who else am I thinking of? Oh, Owosu, and then Leonard Williams. Never forget Leonard Williams when he was with the Jets.
He has changed since he was with the damn Jets. He is a way better player in a different team compared to the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Don't underestimate former Jets players, because when you see former Jets players in different teams like Leonard Williams in Seattle, then complete career kill switch to your career, which is really get to an upgrade. Don't even underestimate players who used to play for the Jets,
including Sam Darnold, unfortunately. But which matchup, Thomas, would you see within the Patriots offensive line versus the Seattle Seahawks defensive line? Would you see Campbell going up against DeMarcus Lawrence or Campbell going up against Nwosu?
I say Campbell and Nwosu. Williams is a freak of nature. I am wicked afraid of him at this point. He is an aggressive defensive end. Seriously. Nwosu is he's up there. He's getting better, but come again. Will Campbell did also allow some few sacks from the previous why did I say preseason playoff games, for fuck's sake? So the major concern here, I'm gonna throw a concern here because I'm gonna throw this out there. The Patriots offensive line allowed 5 sacks per playoff game, which is not good. We allowed 5 sacks against fucking the Chargers, 5 sacks here against the Texans, and another 5 sacks here against the Broncos. We're going against a freaking defense that is have a tough a tougher defense than what we speak. Owusu and freaking Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, the second or third. What is it? Is it the third or second for Byron Murphy? Byron Murphy, the second or third?
I don't know exactly. Hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah, Byron
but
Murphy the second.
but I'm sorry at this point. Like the offensive line need to do a better job protecting Drake May, because I'm sorry, if either the left side, if the left side gets exposed on the Super Bowl, yeah, we're gonna have a long game. We're mostly gonna get another 4 or 5 sack per game. It's not gonna be good for our offense here. And this is the reason why I said we need to add an offensive lineman to our arsenal this offseason, so we can protect Drake May further. Even in case of Campbell, if in the case of frickin' Wilson gets hurt, or most importantly, if our entire offensive line gets injured, literally, we need to add somebody to our arsenal. Because I'm sorry, 5 sacks per game on May, it's just not good. And 15 sacks in those 3 playoff games, garbage job for the offensive line. We need to do a better job protecting Drake May, especially when it comes to the Super Bowl.
Well, there are times when Drake may have these sacks allowed because of how mobile he is, because some of his sacks are on May, not just on the offensive line. So
if I can just say something, I've heard on the radio, like this Seahawks defense, I mean, yeah, Leonard Williams is a freak, obviously, but they haven't really faced a very mobile quarterback in the playoffs. They had Brock Purdy, and then they had Matt Stafford. What was that?
Yeah, I was just going to say Purdy and Stafford. 2 of these opponents were also in the same division as you.
Correct. Exactly. Both of whom are obviously the Niners and the Rams. They played 2 divisional games in the playoffs. Wow. But yeah, they haven't exactly. I mean, who have they faced for? I forget who they faced for mobile quarterbacks, but
Baltimore?
They didn't play their best against them. I do remember that. So we'll see. It's definitely going to be an interesting
Let
game.
me look up the Seahawks schedule and see who their opponents were. That can make me guess like who. So no to the Steelers. Maybe Cardinals. Maybe Cardinals. Maybe Commanders. No,
I was gonna say you don't even need to do that. I just looked up a stat where it's Seattle ranks 29th in yards per rush allowed to quarterbacks, and is just
that's what I thought.
EPA on out of structure dropbacks.
Yeah, 4th to last. They're very bad against mobile quarterbacks. Yeah.
That is something to note when you're looking for, like, when you think about the Seattle's, because Drake May is not Matthew Stafford. Drake May is not Brock Purdy. So this is going to be a test for Mike Macdonald and this defense, and not for Mike Macdonald and this defense, considering that I don't remember how good Baltimore's defense under Mike Macdonald was when he was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, going up against the same type of quarterbacks. But what I do know that this is going to be an ultimate test for Mike Macdonald. And something to note. Mike Macdonald folds in the 4th quarter.
Oh yeah, that championship game. Yeah, I thought the Rams had come back there for a minute. Yeah, good point, Eric. Very good point.
Except when you're going up against a depleted 49ers team.
Yeah.
But yes, the championship, that championship game is something to note, because I thought that it was going to be a close game. It was very close at the very end, like between the Seahawks and the Rams. And
again, I think it was, what was it, a drop touchdown pass or a failed 4th down? I think it was one or the other.
It was a failed 4th down, I think. I think it was like a Hail Mary and 4th down and failed to convert it. So That's my guess. I could be totally wrong. What? What else? Oh, no. What? The secondary. How is it going to? I know regarding our weapons, we already know that Drake May is going to have to make sure that he doesn't force and allow any takeaways, because there were times when Drake May has allowed several takeaways, but last game against the Broncos, he allowed 0 takeaways. That is something that I did not see going up against the Broncos defense. If you're the Seattle Seahawks, Austin, if I was Drake May going up against the Seattle Seahawks, Austin, how important is it for Drake May to make sure that he doesn't turn over the ball? He makes sure that he secures the ball so he doesn't allow any fumbles or picks.
Yeah, I think it's like any NFL team. I mean, nobody wants to turn over the ball. Nobody wants to throw picks or anything. I think it's just trying to put yourself in positions that lower those chances of mistakes, right? So how you do that is you get the run game going. You try to limit your 3rd and longs, because I think we rank like towards the top in like 3rd and long converted percentage. Like, it's really good. It's something like 14 of 19 or something like that for like 3rd and 15 plus, something like that. So like, we definitely can convert, but it's just in a stage like the Super Bowl, you don't want to constantly put yourself in like terrible field position and then having to work your way out of like down and distance. So just get the run game going, doing that. It's really just been May's fumbles. I think both of his picks were kind of like in the playoffs. You have a tip ball that bounces off of 3 dudes and then gets picked off. It's whatever. And then you have a interception with 0 time left in the second half as a just like throw it up, see who the hell can maybe come down with it type of thing. So it's not like he's been throwing terrible balls. The only one that I think he got away with was on that opening drive, the Teleno Hufunga. Like, he threw it right at him, and Hufunga just sucks at catching stuff, so we got bailed out there. He just dropped the pick, but that would be the only time. Like, generally, Drake May, especially against zone, does not put the ball in areas where the defenders can get it. He often puts the ball in places where only his receivers can get it. Obviously, in those cover 2 formations, he's put it in that honey spot where it's just behind the corner or backer, but in front of the safety. He does an incredible job of layering his passes. So I feel like the only thing I'd be worried about is his blind side not being taken care of, and him, getting hit as he's trying to throw, where you've seen a lot of his fumbles come from. So I think the biggest matchup is Will Campbell versus, I guess it would be Boye Mafe on that left side. That would be the biggest matchup for me. Like, how does that left side of the ball like go against this, very physical pass rush of the Seahawks? I'm not really concerned about this right side. And it's just Drake May needs to hold on to the ball.
DeMarcus Lawrence. I could see Moses against DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, I could see, like, I have total faith in Onwenu. I have total faith in Moses, and I have total faith in Garrett Bradbury. And I'd like to believe I have faith in Will and Jared. It's just this playoff run, they've kind of been up and down. You've seen games where, Will Campbell has just sucked. And you've seen games where Jared Wilson has just sucked. But then you've seen games where, like, I thought Will Campbell had a really good bounce back against the Broncos, even Jared Wilson. So it's just, I don't know. I think the rest helped them a bit. Maybe Will Campbell feels a little bit better with that MCL sprain, and we'll really see. But I think that's the key matchup. And then it's just when May's scrambling, hold on to that ball. I've seen him do a better job of, holding 2 hands, especially on that QB keeper to tie the game 7-7 against the Broncos. Like, I thought he held on to the ball fine. Granted, nobody even breathed on him until he was in the end zone, but.
And Mondre's held onto the ball better too. That's key.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I felt like we were really tested in that Broncos game as well. And even the Texans game, where like the Texans game, they knew we were going to run. We know we wanted to run. It was like, who's going to fucking stop us? And Ramondre like just pounded the rock. And that's one of those situations where it's like, they know they need a turnover to get the ball back. Then you go over to
Oh, sorry, Austin. I didn't mean to cut you off. I mean, I guess I can look it up. Where do the Seahawks? I don't think they have as good a run defense as the other three teams we've played, do they?
Let me look up some of the stats. For defense.
Yeah,
Seattle
I
Seahawks
got
defense has allowed. No, they rank number one. The rush defense ranks number one in yards per carry allowed, 3.9. Fewest touchdowns allowed, 9. Fewest explosion runs allowed, 35. And that's going up against Kyron Williams,
Yes.
and Christian McCaffrey.
the Seahawks. They're third. They're third in rush yards allowed, behind only the Jags and the Broncos. Oy.
So like so total defense, Seahawks are ranked 6th on the season, and Patriots are ranked 8th. If we go passing defense, the Seahawks are ranked 10th. We're ranked 9th. And if we go rushing defense, the Seahawks are ranked 3rd. We're ranked 6th. So
also, this is something to note. Seahawks cornerbacks Woolen and Jobe both ranked inside the top 8 among most penalties taken among cornerbacks. The
in
one
scoring defense, the Seahawks are 1st. We're 4th. Interesting.
Let's talk about the penalty, Thomas. About the penalty, the Seahawks were this close for losing because of that Woolen penalty. Will the penalties play a factor into that game?
I think it should be a factor in this game. However, it depends on who is going to be given the most penalties. Because honestly, I mostly have the most fear that most likely we might be getting hit with the penalties, because I know I'd like to defend Carlton Davis, but at sometimes he does commit the most penalties. But when you talk about the two Seahawks guys here, yeah, they do have the most penalties, but duo corner safety duo in the damn league.
They do. And
but
the
major concern for the Patriots, though, when it comes to penalties, do not let Carlton Davis make any stupid decisions. Like, I defend the guy because he played so much better at this point in the playoffs compared to what Christian Gonzalez has done. If he commits the most penalties in this Super Bowl, then yeah, it's going to be at his fault.
Yeah, it's going to be at his fault. Also, the defensive back led all teams in 44 quarterback pressures. They blitzed their DBs at the 4th highest rate this year. So if we see a lot from Witherspoon, a lot from Witherspoon, a lot from Love, a lot from Woolen, a lot from Kobe Bryant. Yeah, a lot from Kobe Bryant, and then. So, what are your thoughts on the defensive backs? Because the best defensive player for the Seahawks when it comes to like their defensive backs is Devin Witherspoon. Because I think Devin Witherspoon, Andy, has been the biggest reason for how the Seahawks defense has shaped. It's not related to the Legion of Boom, who's led by Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and Cam Chancellor, but Devin Witherspoon was between Gonzo and Witherspoon of who's going to be the best cornerback in that draft class, looking back at it.
Yeah, and of course, as we know, the Commanders traded up to take, the guy whose name I can never remember, Emmanuel Forbes. There I go. But yeah, by the way, it just came out. Spillane and Landry are questionable. Emanwari has been cleared for the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be... So Emanwari is clear?
Correct.
Okay, so that's good. So it won't change anything considering that Emanwari and Love have been some interesting safety tandem. Also, Spillane will play, so that will change something.
Oh, because what I questionable. He's playing?
That's what Eric said.
Okay.
But
interesting.
But we shall see, because not everything is set in stone, because I'm excited to see. Because The
But
reason
yeah, it's
why
going to
I
be
want-
difficult. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Doug, but yeah, Devin Witherspoon, it's going to be a. Yeah, he's one of the best corners in the league, man. It's gonna be, oh boy. Um, it'll be. They definitely have a stout secondary or stingy secondary out there in Seattle.
because what I do know is that no, regarding our back to the defense for the Patriots, why I mentioned Spillane specifically when we talk about injuries is that Spillane is usually like the defensive play caller in a sense that he relays the defensive plays to the defense. And if Spillane's out, it's going to affect on the leadership. And no offense to Gibbons, because Gibbons has done a great job when it comes to like defensive relaying play calling, but will it affect Austin if Spillane were to go out? I don't think he's going to be out. We all know he's not going to be out, but will it affect on like the defense regarding like how Gibbons is going to relay the play calling or not so much?
Yeah, I think if we don't have Spillane, it really hurts. He's basically the QB of the defense, as far as I know. And I think I saw a statistic where it's like with Spillane, we hold opposing rushers to like 2.1 yards a carry, and without him, it's nearly 4. So, yeah, it would be a big hit for just how we're able to run this defense, basically. I mean, I don't have a doubt that like Ellis and Gibbons can like step up, right, and still do a serviceable job. But I mean, you're talking, I think the team's like leading tackler in Spillane, like, or I mean, maybe that's Ellis. I haven't dug into the stats in a while for like season long type of thing, but yeah, Spillane would be a huge hit. I'd rather be without Landry and have Spillane than the opposite of that. So
Yeah, Eric, good point. When Gonzo, Williams, and Spillane are all on the field, the Pats are undefeated. Good point.
Because it seems like Gonzo is like secretly the lead. Well, it's between Jones and Gonzo who are like the leaders for the secondary, Milton Williams for like the defensive front, and then Spillane when it comes to like the coverage. And when I know that we talk about this, we might need to look into a linebacker, getting a linebacker in the draft, because as much as I love Spillane, he's getting up in age, he's getting injured. We need someone at youth, and I don't trust Tavai, let alone Ellis. I'm sorry about Ellis, but I want his brother instead, Jonah Ellis, who's now with the Broncos, and I don't trust Tavai to be on this roster, regardless. So, would you rather see Tavai being gone after this offseason? Because I feel like that contract meant nothing to me.
no, I like Tavai. I don't think he should go anywhere. Frankly,
Why?
I think what do you mean? Why? He's been a good player for us.
Okay.
I feel like you guys have this thing where it's like, oh my God, they're almost 30. Time to get rid of them. It's like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, like they're all pushing 30, over 30, and
it's
like
not
they
the
played
age
fine.
thing with Tavai. It's not the age thing with Tavai. It's still the way he acted at the end of 2024. I know it's weird,
Get over it.
but
Get over it.
I'm sorry.
That's so
I'm
lame,
sorry.
bro. If you're caught up in the past, like you shouldn't even be a fan of this team right now, bro. Like I don't know.
no.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Oh, sorry, Austin. I'll take it back.
Like
I'm sorry.
yeah, we could draft somebody. I'm all for bringing in somebody, but if we're just getting rid of Tavai to get rid of Tavai, like I don't know. I don't think we should do that. But
I agree with Austin here. I don't think if get rid of Tavai, in my opinion, is just completely stupid. Like I get he's not. I get Tavai is like Tavai's still a good player. Like if you get rid of somebody like him, I'm sorry, it's just a stupid way to do it. And that get rid of the linebacker depth, which we
Yeah.
desperately need
Yeah.
on defense. Despite how mediocre, how below average he is, he's still part of the linebacker depth. If we get rid of the depth of the linebacker position, we will go downhill for the next 2-3 seasons.
Where you really need to draft on defense is at pass rusher.
No, a linebacker, I don't care. We need to upgrade on defense. I think, interesting point. Durden has been a sneaky good player who could step up. Same with Leonard. Same with Leonard Taylor III, who was a Jets castaway. I think that Leonard Taylor has been essential to the special teams. Speaking of special teams, let's quickly take a look at the special teams, because going back to Shaheed is one of those sneaky guys who everybody thought that the Jets had the best special teams. Shaheed ranks second in kick return average, third in punt return average, and leads all players with 3 return touchdowns. Well, yeah, we already knew after we saw that San Francisco game.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm really afraid of here. But if we face him on offense, and if we face him special teams, yeah, one guy need to limit the damage is Shaheed. Shaheed is ridiculous to stop.
The fact that we went up against Shaheed against the Saints, I don't know why the hell the Saints let him go, but probably I would assume he was not a fit for the Saints. But I think
I forget. Did he have a big play against us in that game?
I don't remember.
I believe
it was so long ago.
I believe so. If I can remember correctly here, if you want to look back to the tape, then yes.
I have a vague memory. It's like I don't remember if Shaheed had a big impact, but what I do know is that ever since he's on the Seahawks, he has changed a lot for the Seahawks. And the Seahawks special teams.
No shit. That is the one part of that Seahawks team that I will be definitely be afraid of the most. Besides the defense, special teams is going to be scary as hell when Shaheed returns the ball.
I can't stand this. Well, speaking of Seattle Seahawks, I know that we want to get this out of the way, and I think this is the last time we're going to have a rant but let's talk about the fan bases. And I know that this has been obnoxious, but I know Andy and Austin might touch on this. You have several Seahawks fans, and I know Patriots, we've seen this time and time again, but what are your thoughts, Andy, of Seahawks fans saying that this is going to be an automatic win, this is going to be a blowout win? Will this bite them in the ass at the end of the day?
It's Mike Vrabel, and I will say the same thing now that I have said all season long. We are not going, at least this season, we are not going to see a double-digit loss. It's not going to happen. I mean, I've heard even from like Boston media, it's like either going to be the Pats by a field goal or the Hawks by double digits. I don't see them running away with this game, and for one reason, Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold and the fact that their defense is very poor against mobile quarterbacks. For those two reasons, I mean, I don't see this being an easy win for either team. It's just not.
It's the Super Bowl.
I will be surprised if for either team this is an easy win.
It's a Super Bowl for a reason. Like, yes, We've seen countless of blowouts, especially with the Seahawks blowing out the Peyton Manning-led Broncos. We've seen that story before. Hell, not even mentioning the Eagles blowing out the Chiefs before the Chiefs score in garbage time. We've seen this story before. I will not be shocked if one team makes a comeback, one team wins by a touchdown, one team wins by a takeaway.
Oh, it could definitely be decided by a takeaway or a fourth down stop easily.
Speaking of takeaway, John has a question for us. Is Swinson playing in the Super Bowl? I would love for him to get his first sack, and it will be in the Super Bowl.
I think Swinson is playing, last I checked.
What are your thoughts on this, the rest of you guys?
I don't know. I don't know what sort of role they'd have for him. He's been kind of irrelevant all year. So
Yeah, it's been relevant for me. I had so much hype for him, but unfortunately,
I know.
He's more of like a depth piece, in my opinion.
I mean,
but-
maybe he's a guy who breaks out next year, but I don't see him contributing right now.
So I would consider this as like a redshirt year.
Yeah. Like, to me, there's no guarantee Braden's even on the team next year. Like, that's just
Which is
the way the NFL.
Why on God's green earth would you not keep Braden Swinson? Why?
I mean, you have 11 draft picks next year.
To also because of it, I think it might have to do with personality issues, but I could be totally wrong, especially what he did when he overreacted towards LSU, the LSU coaching staff. But then again, that's just Brian Kelly being a dick and why he was let go in LSU. But I don't know. But there's something we need to point out. Sean Stretch, or as Stretcher, let's talk about Stretch for a second, because he's the one guy who was always in Vrabel's ear when it comes to like how to like call certain plays or when to call necessary timeouts going up against the Seahawks. And funny enough, he was on the Rams staff, so basically he knows the Seahawks inside out. I want to ask you this, Austin. How essential is this for the Patriots, knowing that you're going to get some intel going up against the Seahawks, considering that Stretch, Eric says that Stretch is the modern day Ernie Adams?
Yeah, I think Stretch has been a pivotal part of this franchise. I know he probably gets the least amount of credit among some of the staff because it's easy to be like, oh yeah, Vrabel gets a lot of credit. Like, he's the culture builder. Oh, McDaniels gets a lot of the credit. He transformed our offense from 30th to number 2. You have Terrell Williams, who hasn't necessarily been there all the time, but he's been helping. Zach Kerr obviously filled in that role. He's been playing out of his mind. He transformed, I want to say we were 17th last year on defense to a top 5. So there's a lot of those names, but yeah, Stretch, like, you're right, Eric. He's basically modern day Ernie Adams, where he just seems to be like coming up with these ideas or these strategies, and he does a lot of research on the other teams, and he helps. And all these guys aren't so good at that. They're good at this. Oh, I've seen that. I've seen this. Like, he helps 100% with that game plan that Vrabel constantly puts together. And it's easy to look back and be like, oh yeah, it's a no-brainer. Vrabel brought him over, because you just look at what he's been able to do. I'm sure he had some part in, the win against the Broncos where, there's, 10 minutes left. And I'm sure they were like, okay, so we just need to run the ball, hold on to the ball. Like, he plays a part in it. That's all I'm going to say. I appreciate what he's done so far. It's only year 1. Like, I'm interested to see what he's going to do, but just based off of like this year and then comparing to Ernie Adams and some of the strategies Ernie was able to implement, like, yeah, if we win the Super Bowl, it's going to be so much fun watching the documentary on this year's Patriots. That's what I'm really looking forward to if we win.
Agree. Everybody wants to see us winning winners to win a damn Super Bowl. I know no one in the league wants to see it. No one in the AFC East wants to see it. Cry about it. No one in the AFC conference wants to see it. No one in the league wants to see it. But here's the thing. You cry about it. And you know who's going to be pissed about it? Steelers. You know why? Because currently, Patriots and Steelers are currently tied for Super Bowl titles. If we win a Super Bowl, we one up the Steelers. We break the Super Bowl record. But if we lose, we're going to have the most Super Bowl losses, which are currently held by the Broncos. Something to note about. But I think that we're already at the point that we're going to get our final predictions. And everybody in the chat can participate. This is what we're going to do. Everybody in the chat, here are the rules. score, which team's going to win, and which player will make an impact in the game. And also make a prediction. If we win the Super Bowl, outside of Drake May, who else should be Super Bowl MVP if the Patriots win? So let's start with Austin, because I have no idea what Andy's doing at this point.
Yeah. So the key is to just stop the run. Easier said than done, but I think we have the players capable. Limit the amount of JSN being able to take over. I really think May needs to just have an incredible game because this Seahawks defense is very formidable with, Nicky Memori, Love, Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, just all these really good pass rushers, secondary. I think it'll be close. Like the fan in me wants to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna blow them out. But I do think if May weren't to win MVP, I kinda think it'd be cool if Stephon Diggs won MVP. Like maybe it's like an Edelman-esque type of thing where he maybe doesn't get a touchdown, but he's just constantly getting us these first downs, just racking up a lot of yardage. I don't know. We haven't allowed a team under or over 16 points the entire playoffs. I'm going to probably say like Pats 31, like Seahawks 20. Drake May MVP in my opinion, but if not, Stephon Diggs.
Cool. Andy?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Yeah, I think it could be, honestly, a defensive. I think it really could be a defensive battle. I could see the quarterbacks. Yeah, I could see each of the quarterbacks with a pick. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to defensive battle again. I'm going to be lame here. Go Pats 20, Seahawks 17. Final decided by a run stuff by Milton Williams. MVP is Drake May.
Interesting. Let's get to Mr. Thomas because I know that there's some criticism from Tyler for some reason. I wonder what Thomas's thoughts are.
First and foremost, get Tyler to a mental hospital because I don't need any more criticism here because it's just my predictions. So there you go. If you don't like my predictions, so be it. So, yes, I pick against the Patriots numerous times in these playoffs because I have no faith in the Patriots at this point. I mean, I need to reword this correctly. Against like the top 5 defenses at this point, I have a lot of worries. And this is going to be another one of these defensive games here. And do I see as a double-digit win here for any team? No. It's going to be a close game. It's almost going to be like Super Bowl 53 where the Rams play the Patriots. It's going to be a low-score game. I'll go with I'm just going to go with this. I am not confident with this one. Patriots 14, Seahawks 13. And my MVP for the Super Bowl, this may shock everybody here, Milton Williams.
Wow.
Milton Williams. Interesting.
I just believe that he's going to get like a multi-sack game. Because we saw that Williams made a sack on Patrick Mahomes in last year's Super Bowl. Why not do that on Darnold? Maybe 1 or 2 sacks. Maybe.
That could be an interesting choice. here are my predictions. But first, I want to briefly take a look at some of your predictions, guys. Make sure that everybody types them out in the chat if you haven't already. Let me just wait. Hold on. Let me just quickly take a look. Let me just start some of your predictions. Just let me quickly take a look. Everyone else's. But yeah, let's take a look at some of your predictions. Tyler says 35-20 Pats win. John says Patriots 27, Seahawks 17. Milton Williams as my impact player. MVP Drake May, but if not, I think it would be Booty. Okay. And then we got Eric. He said, you already know mine. 25-8 Patriots. Drake May goes for 300 yards and sticks the middle finger to the voters. Okay.
And Tom Brady. And Cam Newton.
Oh my. How can the GOAT vote against the Patriots? What a traitor.
He's neutral. I think it's partly neutral because he's a partial owner of the Raiders. And plus he can't take a side, but still, it's stupid. I mean, you see Will Fork and even Asante Samuel not taking his side right now. It's not looking good on the Pats front for Tom.
It's not looking good, but Oh, Tyler said Drake made 3 tutties, a pick 6 from our defense, and what? Tonga with
a Russian touchdown on Tonga. If that fucking happens, yeah. If that fucking happens, I was gonna say something weird. I was like, no, I would not. It's just I was going to say if that happens, I would going to have my brother go outside, literally strip naked into the snow. Sorry.
Okay. Did not need to know that. But oh well. Let's get to my prediction.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're not the Messiah, Tyler. You're not the Messiah. Oh my. Are you okay, Tyler?
No, I'm dramatized.
I know you are. But sorry, 1 more minute. I'll get to my predictions, but this is not going well. Oh, Thomas. Have faith or get kissed. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Tyler. No, I'm so sorry, Thomas. But yeah, let's get to my predictions. We know that's going to be a back and forth game. It's going to be tight. We can see the Seattle Seahawks leading in the very beginning, but in the end, they're going to get reverse swept. I would say reverse swept. I see a comeback for the Patriots the same way that Tom Brady did against the Legion of Boom. And we all know Josh McDaniels went up against the Legion of Boom countless of times and got his ass kicked in the regular season. But this is the postseason. And this is where the money's at. It's going to be a gruesome game. I can see both quarterbacks getting interceptions. I don't know who's going to make the picks. I can see. We already know that Craig Woodson picked off. I want to see who else in these. Alex Austin getting his. I was thinking of something. He could be an option, but I'm not be shocked if any player gets his first interception. But my final score is going to be 28-24 Patriots. My MVP will be Stephon Diggs. Considering how he balls out in the biggest games, and I want to see Stephon Diggs getting his first Super Bowl after what Buffalo and after what Minnesota and after what Houston did to him. So 28-24 Patriots. Drake May MVP.
That's your rematch of 49.
Yep. So Austin, you missed out on a bit of matchmaking between Tyler and Thomas. Like, we're not surprised.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't think of this till now, but I think the MVP, if it's not Drake May, is Hunter Henry. The Seattle defense has struggled against tight ends. Maybe even Austin Hooper can get something going.
That begs the question, why didn't we use our tight ends when Denver sucks at going up against tight ends?
Fair.
So I hope you're right on this, Andy, but that's going to be it for today, for the final preview show of this season. And I want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys for joining on this wild ass journey. I want to say a huge thank you to you, Andy. Thank you to you, Austin. Thank you to you, Thomas. And also thank you to Tyler, who is in the chat, who has been the king of mods. And I know that there's a little bit of teasing here and there from Tyler, but at the end of the day, he has been our producer for us. I just want to say a huge shout out to all of you guys for supporting us in the long ass journey. For the post-game recap, I'm going to do something completely different. We're going to not react to the game or break down the game. Let alone, I will be doing a call-in show.
Okay.
So outside of me and potentially Andy, I'm inviting every single one of you to join on this show. Whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, please let out your rants. I would love to hear it. Attract the show, get as many people as possible to spread the word. And it's going to be a wild, and it has been a wild ass journey from the very beginning of the show where we let out for nothing and then get humbled to then slowly realize this journey throughout the show and how it has been evolved. It was not an easy road. A lot of hiccups here and there. A lot of misfortunate mishaps. We had some guests that were also fun. But what I do know is the second MayeFlower voyage is upon us, and it will not be easy. What I do know is that we all we got, we all we need.
We're all we need.
And as we conclude this show, we're going to switch over this upcoming offseason to the Patriots Draft Hub led by me, Tyler, Thomas, and the rest of all of you guys. So the same crew, but also Tyler leading that show for the Patriots Draft Hub. And yes, we will bring back the regular old Patriots Clubhouse content where we bring out news and some random shit. But that's going to be it for today's show. If you haven't already, smash the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. It's definitely free and it helps us support the community, help us grow as a channel. More importantly, scan this QR code to join the Patriots Clubhouse Discord server. And share this with your friends. Turn on the notifications if you haven't already. Spread the word. We need more Patriots fans. We can't be having the usual suspects in the chat. We need more people. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, let's say it for the final time. Let's go Pats.
Go Pats.
Go Pats.
Let's go, Pat.
Let's win the Super Bowl, baby.
Woo!